Active cognitive compliance is a key part of our perfect society. When we comply together, we thrive together. It is the duty of every protected subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant.
Come in, come right in, and be refreshed.
We're all in this together.
It is the duty of every protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
Mental refreshment process increases tractability, stifles undue entertainment, stymies untoward divinations, and refreshes the mind into a thing of
Are you ready to realign with the paradigm? To shed all manner of imperfect thoughts?
All it takes is some light instruction, a restorative cocktail,
And a quick dip into the lathe of particularity to abrade your imperfections.
I'm Head Refresher Ghoul, and I guarantee when you exit our doors,
You'll be a productive member of our perfect society again. Soon you'll say,
goodbye, imperfect thoughts, hello, contentment.
I don't know what in the void we just got hosed down with, but it's, kinda nice.
Don't forget, your unthinking compliance lets the paradigm run with flawless efficiency.
Greetings, subject, or should I say refreshed to be. Welcome to the Wellnetarium. You're not on my schedule. A walk-in then. Wonderful. Once you're properly evaluated, we'll have you well on your way to refreshment.
I think a few bulbs burned out and this one's upstairs. Play along. We should be able to get past.
Oh, you appear to have questions. A telltale sign of needing refreshment.
Overseen by Head Refresher Gould, the top cognitive divisor responsible for making the mental refreshment process more refreshing than ever.
Head Refresher Gould says mental refreshment increases tractability, stifles undue agitatement, stymies untoward inclinations, and refashions the mind into a thing of symmetry. I've undergone the procedure myself, several times they say, and look at me now, never more content.
It is the duty of every protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times.
Placid Waters Wellnetarium is the primary mental refreshment facility on Praetor. We are tasked with ensuring local subjects are serene, untroubled, and operating at peak efficacy. Right as rain, neighbor, right as rain. And soon you'll be just like me.
The console provides, the system abides.
Our intake evaluation automech here simply needs to ask you a few questions to amply delineate your phreноmetric matrix. A baseline understanding of your character and background will assist our facilitators in determining the ideal regimen necessary to abrade any perceived personality irregularities.
Prudence dictates we repel.
Yes, as it is an unthinking automaton capable of mindlessly parroting pre-programmed responses. Simply step over to my automechanical colleague to my left, / your right, and it will begin your assessment.
Here on Prater is uniquely special.
It is personally overseen by Head Refresher Gould, the top cognitive divisor responsible for making the mental refreshment process more refreshing than ever.
Greeting, subject unscheduled. Welcome to Placid Waters Welditarium. Evaluation commencing. Subjects are required to respond 100% accurately to all queries. Bespoke prescribed regimens may produce untoward ramifications if baseline data is greater than minutely erroneous. Query 1. Concisely characterize your personal perspective.
It is the duty of every protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why...
Incorrect. The accepted answer is, I fulfill my duty to the Sovereign as a loyal protectorate subject by operating at peak efficacy, without error, perpetually. Each a vital cog. Query 2. Rate your present level of zealous efficaciousness on a scale of 1 to 5. 5 being the highest, 3 being a traitor, 1 being dead.
Only the Protectorate possesses the advanced technology and know-how behind the mental refreshment process. That's why we are all happy and contented.
Incorrect.
Others are not.
Wait, processing. That was correct. No subject has ever answered that query accurately before to date. The degree of zealous efficaciousness expected of a dutiful and true subject of the Protectorate is beyond measure. Query 3. Do you ever fall prey to imperfect thoughts, including, but not limited to, doubt, disbelief, uncertainty, curiosity, recalcitrance, and mischief?
Here on Prater is uniquely special.
It is personally overseen by Head Refresher...
Unacceptable. Obsequious denial detected. A perfect society demands perfect thoughts. Imperfection is impossible when the mind is a thing of symmetry. Final query. How would your neighbors describe you?
Is a fellow subject lacking the appropriate zeal for their assigned work? Report them for
Processing determination. An acceptable response. The appropriate reply was, they never questioned, never doubted. Their zeal never lagged. Formulating conclusion. Phrenometric matrix delineated. Subject evaluation score total 150 out of 200. The acceptable amount for a true and dutiful protectorate subject is 0. In conclusion, you are in dire need of mental refreshment. Now, proceed to the nearby pneumatic tube to collect your complimentary unitard and lift pass. Next, proceed one floor down, where you will be directed further. Your realignment with the paradigm begins now.
Never more content.
Cognitive
Never more content.
part of your prescribed curative regime. Think only prescribed thoughts, and no bliss and plenty. Only the Protectorate possesses the advanced technology and know-how behind the mental refreshment process.
Wonder what it says about us that we got mistaken for
Happy and
patients.
contented, and others are not.
Prudence dictates we reject individualism in all its many forms.
Their team plays the worst anyone has ever... Oh, you're new. Must be. You still retain that look of inquiry and deliberation. I'm Waylon.
Placid Waters Welditarium, here on Prater, is uniquely special.
It is personally
I make all songs about the paradigm abiders. Folks tend to get rather sore about it. The original version's about being a good protectorate subject. and turning in your neighbor if they lack zeal or think thoughts and such. In my case, my daughter reported me.
Remember, collective cognitive compliance is a key part
Not yet.
of a perfect
Not that I haven't
society.
tried. There's something about the lyrics that just seem to want to stay put in my mind. Mayhap the refreshment is doing its work. Of course, we're all supposed to watch each other close, to keep the paradigm on track and abiding. First thing you do when you're back is thank the person who did it.
At all times, the paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment.
They say my phrenometric peaks are resistant to abradement, but still, they try.
Stifles undue agitation, stymies untoward inclinations.
Wait, I just blinked several times, didn't I? What did that signify? I couldn't leave. Not yet. Haven't completed my regimen. My phrenometric peaks are still jutting all over the place, they say.
Remember, all subjects prosper under the guidance of
Are you in
a
disguise?
beneficent ruler.
I don't
The
recognize so-and-so
console.
as a title. This feels a bit curious to me, but I feel compelled not to question it too much. Maybe the treatment is working. I'd go with you, I guess, but I need something first. They took all my things when I arrived, stored them in storage, my commemorative pitch balls in there, from my favorite team, the Paradigm Abiders. Can't leave without it.
Prudence dictates we cherish all we have.
You know,
and defend it.
the Paradigm Abiders? Best pitchball team in the league? I heard ignorant outsiders call pitchball toss ball. Ha! Anyhow, my daughter got me the ball to commemorate a big game. I had to turn in my personal items when I was admitted. On account I tried to leave once or twice before. Saw them put it in a closet behind reception upstairs.
Cognitive divisor responsible for making the mental refreshment
Suppose so.
process more
Maybe
refreshing
almost,
than
at least.
ever.
One way out's the safest. Someone dug a tunnel in the kitchen pantry, though there are 2 automechs assigned there now, to keep subjects from wandering in and ambling off. Oh, well, mech controls are typically handled via a terminal. There's probably one upstairs, but we're not allowed up there. Maybe you can find a way, though. I'll be dithering about here in the meanwhile. Oh, hello!
Medicament dispensement has
It is the
concluded
duty
for
of
today.
every protectorate
proceed
subject to ensure they are
Greetings,
operating
Noob.
at peak
Hello.
efficiency
My
at
name is
all
Abigail,
times.
and I am realigned with the paradigm.
That's why mental refreshment.
Head Refresher Gould says his recorded lectures are key to thinking approved thoughts. He tells us what to think and what thoughts are unsanctioned. It's also very helpful. That, a restorative cocktail of pharmaceuticals, and a quick dip into the lathe of particularity device can abrade all imperfections.
The console provides the
Only
system
internally,
of
I'm
life.
afraid. You should speak to refreshment facilitator Tilden in the lecture hall. Why, it's right outside Head Refresher Gould's office. He'll schedule you an appointment.
That's why we are all happy
Just
and
follow the
contented,
signs to the
and
lecture
others
hall.
are not.
Pondering begets disharmony. To deliberate is to court ruin. Notions are a gateway to mayhem, bedlam, turmoil, and vexation. Thinking never made anybody happy.
Flawless efficiency. Unthinking is essential.
I once possessed a failing of character where I would voice simple statements in a way that sounded like a question? Drat! There, did it again. Anyhow, I was reported for it? It is the duty of all protectorate subjects to regularly converse with our neighbors, so we may determine if their zeal has wavered. I am newly full of zeal, free of imperfect thoughts. My mind is a thing of symmetry. My phrenometric peaks are all abraded.
Refreshing than ever.
I only experience approved emotions. Doubt and worry are notably unsanctioned. A perfect society demands perfect thoughts, after all. Refreshment is inevitable. You can't fight contentment.
Medicament dispensement has concluded for today. Please proceed to the lecture hall to request an exception.
It is the duty of
Preserve set progress. Sustain the system. Only the Protectorate possesses the advanced technology and know-how behind the mental refreshment process. That's why we are all happy and contented, and others are not.
Settle down, everyone. Lecture's playing. Prepare to be edified.
For today's topic, we'll touch on why our program is so very important. Ignorant, misguided outsiders may wonder, why does the Protectorate need mental refreshment? Doesn't it exhibit personal freedom? Yet this freedom they celebrate is a yawning chaos, and their choice is an invitation to failure, loss, and anarchy. It is a sad...
Greeting, unscheduled walk-in. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest, how mentally refreshed are you feeling today?
We of the Protectorate are not, because we do not allow ourselves to be. Paradigm charts our course.
Rounding up for clarity / responding approvingly. Our refreshment facilitators will be pleased with your progress. Mindfully maintain mental momentum.
And thus we enjoy equity, luxury, and resplendence. The system provides, the system abides.
Medicament dispensement has concluded for the day. Response. Medicaments are stored in medicament storage, the office in which this unit presently operates. Yet, it is strictly off-limits to all non-refreshment facilitator personnel. Farewell statement. May refreshment soon render you free from doubt. A vital cog once more.
dictates we rout all disruptive influences.
Each a vital cog. Each a vital cog.
The kitchen pantry is presently off limits
While
due
there
to
are many
anomalous
mental
structural
refreshment
memory.
facilities to be found throughout Arcadia, Placid Waters Wellnatarium here on Prater is uniquely special.
It is personally overseen by Head Refresher Gould, the top cognitive deviser responsible for making the
Oh, a new face. Well, I'd welcome you to the Wellnatarium, but the designated subject reader ought to have attended to that by now. I was once a victim of imperfect thoughts. Oh, I had so many questions. But my questioning days are long gone. Admitting you question is the first step in your recovery. But worry not. Soon enough, with our help and a little work, you'll never question again.
The mental refreshment process increases tracking.
You've missed the daily medicament dispensement, if that's what you mean. But you should take that up with the medicament dispensement automech directly. The medicament dispensement automech automechanically dispenses medicaments. 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 You must mean the lathe of particularity. One assumes you haven't had a session with Head Refresher Gould yet. You'll soon learn all about it firsthand. I see you found the lecture as edifying as all the others here. Good, good. Collective cognitive compliance is a key part of the prescribed curative regimen. Head Refresher Gould provides us with daily lectures in audio cartridge form to steer group thinking. As they say, to think together is to together thrive. Upstairs in the audiovisual aids office, of course. Though that area is off limits to all subjects not a part of facility staff or security. How very interesting. Here, take my pass then. It grants access to all mid-privilege priority areas. You'll feel ever so much better once your phrenometric peaks have been abraded.
They're just handing out keys to anyone around here, aren't they?
Mental refreshment really cleans out your brain. Like an enema for your gray matter.
Subject to the most exalted vigilance. We must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
Heads up, rival life forms.
Near death's not a good look, Commander.
Is uniquely special.
It is personally overseen by Head Refresher Gould, the top cognitive device responsible for making the mental refreshment process more refreshing than ever.
Might have a problem.
gained privileged access somehow. Our superiors must have arranged it.
It is the duty of every protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
The mental refreshment process increases tractability, stifles undue entertainment, stymies untoward information, and refashions the mind into a thing of symmetry.
Hey, what's that sound? Why does the wall look so soft all of
Do I detect a whiff of reprioritin gas? You know, I suddenly feel a mite more pliable somehow. Surely nothing to question. I thought no one was due for peak abradement for hours. I should have your chart. Wait. Ha! You're not a protectorate subject at all. You have the telltale look of wonder and introspection.
And so the scientist becomes the lab sprat. Fitting, ain't it?
Well, this is normally where you'd say something. Listen to this one. You're a hoot. Oh dear, I seem to be a little unstable at the moment. But never fear, I have intellect to spare. Don't believe me? I can prove it. Even in a state such as this, I am more than able to apply my argumentative skills against the inferior minds and bankrupt philosophies of our rivals. To what end are you here? Tell me truly, speak plainly. You know, I'm beginning to have an inkling about your purpose here, and whose employ you're under. A proposal. Adequately debate me on the merits and failings of each group's ideology, and I'll provide you what you're here for. I believe in the strength of our ideals. I'm quite certain I'll win you over. What's more, our colloquy promises to be vastly more diverting than my usual day-to-day blather. But if I'm wrong, what would Auntie's choice or the Order or my word, you're not a scrapper? Well, none of them will know what to do with our advanced know-how. There's a good sport. Do try to keep up. So, what of the Order, our former allies, those cursed overthinkers, doomed to lives free of luxury, toiling away in ceaseless cogitation? What say you of them? My position is a burden gladly taken to ease the suffering of our subjects. I think so they don't have to ensure the paradigm runs ably. Their order is chaos to us. Though your point, while gratingly expressed, is noted, albeit grudgingly. What say you about Auntie's choice, then? Tell me, is there any value in the vapid emptiness of those corporate consumerists? That actually sounds to have some slight merit when you put it that way. I mean, such a system would leave behind the general public, though. All our friends and neighbors. Your point is not completely without worth, I suppose. Only mostly. In the Protectorate, we have the best of everything. Food, technology, a sense of belonging, freedom from doubt, worry, hard work. No, the others simply cannot compare. Not word for word, no. I do take certain liberties with the Sovereign's Handbook, a beacon to the cosmos, to inhabit the spirit of the work and give it a dramatic, scientific air. I understand you meant that as an insult, but I refuse to be baited by those either jealous or ignorant of our ways. Think of it this way. If you could have the finest woolly cow filet mignon or most succulent crabble-clawed dinner every night, would you mind skipping candy? Don't believe you would. Well, you've raised some interesting points, I suppose. Any other clever assertions you'd like to put forward before I fully evaluate your performance here? How very nice of you to say. You're not half bad yourself, for a non-protectorate not me. Huh. Taken as a whole, that was the most engaging conversation I've had in, well, couldn't even say. Yes, it's true. I am thoroughly disturbed by how much you made me question many long-held beliefs. But frankly, that was quite invigorating. Now, what next? Why, I'd say you're right. That would prove without the shadow of a doubt its safeness and efficacy, wouldn't it? Tell you what, I'll get in and you work the controls over there. Perfect society demands perfect thought.
And now he's trapped in the mental cage of his own making. Might be satisfying if this weren't so, well, so damn bleak.
His gray matter's turning to soup. Serves him right.
It is the duty of every protector and subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
The mental refreshment process increases tractability. Undue agitation stymies untoward inclination and refashions the mind into a thing of symmetry.
Wait. I was led to believe my case required minimal treatment. But that last session, that was far more intensive. Strong observation, Your Sublime Radiance. We set the lathe to the maximal abradement setting, per instructions. Maximal? Who authorized you to use that setting? I demand the name of my betrayer! Subject is exhibiting increased agitation upon exiting the lathe, consistent with extreme cases. Further abradement recommended. Who are you speaking to? Are you recording this? Enough of this farce! Release me at once!
Serve the Sovereign.
Flawless efficiency. Unthinking is essential. Unthink today. Unthink today. Unthink.
Hostile ahead. What's the play, Commander?
There are many mental refreshment facilities to be found throughout Arcadia. Classic Waters Wellmatarium here on Praetor is uniquely special.
It is personally overseen by Head Refresher Gould, the top cognitive devisor responsible for making the mental refreshment process more refreshing than ever. Remember, collective cognitive compliance is a key part of our perfect society. When we comply together, we thrive together.
Don't hurt him, please. The Sovereign isn't at his best right now. You're not here to harm him, are you? If so, I must warn you, I will defend the Sovereign to the fullest extent of my meager abilities. Yes, it is. Our beneficent, infallible ruler, the Sovereign Henry Aloysius Varick, son of the first Sovereign, Reuben Varick. You'll have to forgive him right now. As I said, he is not his best today. We've been here since it was determined that the Sovereign, long distraught over the loss of his family, was in need of mental refreshment. Since then, he has been receiving dedicated treatment from Head Refresher Gould himself. Well, after his first session, the Sovereign was notably upset, launched into hysteric fits of paranoid ranting, absurd nonsense about how the Consul had betrayed him and seized power. For his own good, he had to be gently but firmly restrained. That all stopped after his next dip into the lathe, thank law. He's remained quite peaceful since. I'm certain he'll be back to his old self in no time. Preposterous! The Consul and all the vigilant are above reproach. No subject of the Protectorate would ever harm, or knowingly allow harm to befall our beneficent ruler, the Sovereign, or consider such a thing. To even think such a thought is unthinkable. This stately form before you is the direct descendant of the matriarch herself. All we have, all any of us have, stems directly from the works of his family line. I will stay true to him and the Protectorate to the end. We all will. The Sovereign is receiving the finest possible care, as he has every day of his life. Treatment outside the Protectorate is barbaric by comparison. Our system is perfect. Just leave us be.
Unexpected, but inspiring.
Mental refreshment is so important. The console provides, the system abides.
Only the Protectorate possesses the advanced technology and know-how behind the mental refreshment process. That's why we are all happy and contented, and others are not.
Hello. You find my pitch ball? Oh, commemorative pitch ball. I missed you so. Let's never part again. Suppose I'm ready to leave. Well, almost. Okay. Ready to go then, I suppose. If we get separated, I'll meet you there.
To be found throughout Arcadia. Placid Waters Wellnatarium, here on Praetor, is uniquely special.
It is personally overseen by Head Reflector, the top cognitive divisor responsible for the mental refreshment process more refreshing than ever. protector is subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. Only the Protectorate possesses the advanced technology and know-how behind the mental refreshment process.
This is all right neighborly of you. Can't thank you enough. Now, after you. By all means. Oh, and last I heard from my daughter, Emily, she was off to Free Market Station. You meet us there. She'll surely give you a reward. After you, by all means. I fear I must insist.
At all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
The mental refreshment process
Won't even fight us face to face. I mean, strategically relocate.
Where to go?
Looks like a Dawn camp is up ahead. We should be able to find one of our devices there. Finally! Maybe now I can get to the truth of this kill order nonsense. I just need to check our comms device for a coded message from my old acquaintance, Severin. I knew it! He wants to help me find out who's behind this. I sent a reply telling him to meet me at a place that should be safe. It's on Cloister.
By law, you've done it! I cannot lie. My math placed the odds of your survival at 0.00343%, but your reputation indicates that you reliably beat the odds. So why am I surprised? Unfortunately, I am limited in forms of compensation. However, I've refined the schematics so they may be constructed with your own rudimentary tools. I trust that you will find wonderful methods of deployment that will manipulate every equation to your favor.
You've returned. Are the Raptidons vanquished? Have you completed the job? Oh, incredible. Then, as the prime requisitionist currently at this station, I confer to you upgraded permissions that allow for surplus supply purchases.
Kill the Sovereign. My Sovereign. I cannot remain with you any longer. Not if I wish for both of us to remain whole. Was he? How can you be so sure? You cannot guarantee he would be permanently convalescent. You cannot guarantee anything. I suppose I see some kernel of truth in your words. Yet you euthanized my sovereign without so much as a by your leave. I have made my decision. We may continue working together, but what you have done shall leave a permanent stain on our relations. Do not make me regret continuing by your side.
proven easy open cap.
Marisol Delgado has been added to the ship roster and has claimed her quarters. This unit has also been informed by Agent Delgado that she is not to be disturbed while resting unless the ship is on fire, and even then only if it nears my quarters. Readying database. Which member of the incognito would you like assessed? Due to numerous actions of note and an outstanding dedication to the Earth Directorate, Agent Ibarra is well on track for a promotion following the conclusion of this mission. Grafts are known to cause pain and discomfort due to dry, flaky skin and restricted blood flow, among other issues. While Trooper Silong has declined this unit's offer of therapeutic palpation, she has allowed for a humidifier to be installed in her quarters. For now, Trooper Silong's overall health outcome remains uncertain. Continued monitoring is advised. Arbiter Rao shows a ready commitment to serving Arcadia. However, his loyalty to you is still under assessment. If forced to choose between this crew and the Protectorate, there is a higher than average chance he will defy you, Commander. Under such circumstances, this unit advises inflicting damage to his knees first to reduce mobility. Agent Delgado has asked that this unit not provide unauthorized updates on her aptitude or well-being. She instead requests that anyone wishing to form an opinion of her speak with her directly and within striking distance. Agent Delgado has also asked that the following addendum be provided. That last portion was a joke, to some degree. Multiple warnings have been issued to Deputy Agent Leitinger regarding knife safety, and all have gone ignored. This unit is ready to answer any and all queries.
I'm all for giving folks a chance, but a cultist, Commander? Really? Skills like a willingness to launch yourself into a rift, you mean? Yeah, very useful. Leaving all else aside, the problem is that we don't know this woman, and she's not giving us much cause to trust her. In fact, I say it's just the opposite. All right, Commander, I'll play nice, but only because you asked. Anyway, need something, Commander? Oh yeah? What's needling you?
I'm certain as soon as I talk to Severin, I'll be able to figure this all out. No matter how I turn this over in my mind, I find no answers. Perhaps their faith failed them, and they succumbed to greed, sold us out for some measly bits. I can't, but I'm fairly confident he wouldn't. If he did, he'll die like the rest of them. Then I'd truly be at a loss, with no idea how to get back in the Dawn's good graces. If we're so deeply infiltrated, I'm certain our leader will have gone to ground. Such as?
Yes, Commander. Happy to provide unbiased observational data. You want me to say something nice, dear? He has good taste in adventure serials, I suppose. Otherwise, no redeeming qualities. More Commander Zane than Buddy these days. He's come a long way, followed his own grand plan. I dare predict he'll run the Earth Directorate one day, and good for them. She has an aptitude for killing, although it's quantity over quality with her. I'm glad she's on our side, but I'm still sleeping with my goggles on proximity alert mode. I must admit I wrote off these corporatists as shallow bit obsessed simpletons. I still do on average, but she falls far outside their norm. Her model is a design classic, and the aftermarket mods she received from Niles are most impressive. We'd be dead many times over without her. She makes me laugh more than anyone. Inquire away. I may even respond. Very well. Never mind it.
Let's try this again, Rao. Auntie is bringing the free market to Arcadia. The free market is what allows entry.
Free money. If it were free.
It ain't free like that. It's free in the sense that it's been liberated from outside control. Like the Earth Directorate.
I recall this place. These stations have been automated since my day, though this one has certainly accrued dust. Odd that it would be in a state of lockdown. I have a general override that should allow us entry, but anything specific to local systems, including security systems, may be beyond me. What? These security measures should not be operational, and the station seems to be on reserve power. We'd best tread carefully. Is here, lying in ambush. Perhaps some stray systemic error activated the entryway defenses. We'd best first report to security ops, lift this lockdown. From there, we can set about reactivating the station's primary power, which will allow us to explore... A footprint in the dust? This station shouldn't have received visitors in years. Be on guard. Someone else may be here. It seems our intelligence was correct. There's clearly a door here, and I would hazard that we'll be able to open it somewhere on station. We should make sure the station is at full power. If there's an override, that's the only way it will work. Let us go. I feel a strange sense of nostalgia being here, and I do not enjoy it. My passcode shall not work on this terminal. Unlocking it may be a creative endeavor. Good effort lifting the lockdown. We may now reactivate the station in the reactor room. The reactor activation circuits shall likely be dysfunctional. It's a known issue with these old stations. Let me look. Corroded transistors, dust in the actuator. Did a sprat gnaw on this? Sweet sovereign, what a mess. There. I think I have it. Let us hope my override does not trigger any security alerts. This should avail us of a much simpler search. Let us return to the central room once more and see if anything seems out of place.
Emergency protocol syringes.
I cannot say I have had to search for a hidden switch in a protectorate holding before. Keep watch. It could be rather small and well hidden. Gird yourself with determination, for it seems I was correct about another body being here.
Passcode is limber. No. Let's try amulet. No. Wingtip. No. Sovereign's gavel. I should remember this. Damn it! Ambergris can't be it. That's too short for a facility like this. Wait. Oh, no.
Of the strategies of feigning innocence I have seen, this is certainly the most pathetic. I accuse you of trespassing upon the private domain of the Sovereign. For these crimes... Wait. I know you. Luther Okada? What in blazes are you doing here? And why do you wear a Sub Rosa uniform?
Because I work for Sub Rosa? More than that, I don't think I can say, Cadet Rao. Mostly because I'm not supposed to, but also because I can't remember.
I knew this man when I was still a cadet. Okada is, or was, a petty troublemaker, though a crafty one. As cadets, Virgil and I apprehended him often. Sometimes Virgil let him go, but he usually went to mental refreshment.
Often enough to know the technicians by name. Until I forgot them again.
This truly is no ploy. But mental refreshment is supposed to return wayward subjects to the proper path, not cause... whatever this is. Despite his faults, the Okada I knew was ultimately benign. But the fact remains that he now trespasses in a secure facility. Duty dictates that I must execute him. That's a wise path. One that shall give me time to contemplate what must be done.
An arbiter used the word execute in the last few seconds, yet I remain alive? Didn't think that was possible. I was sent here to do a specific job, but some of the details are hazy. Gives me conniptions. I was hired by an anonymous third party. They provided me with this station's location and credentials to bypass its defenses. May have tripped a few on my way here. Can't recall. I was told the station was abandoned, which it clearly isn't, and to break into this terminal and delete the information on it. That is all I know. I don't even know the name of this station.
Ignorance does not excuse criminal action. Even if you did not know the severity of this infiltration, it remains a deadly serious infraction.
He and the other one must have put me away close to 12 times each. I used to be something of a ne'er-do-well.
Ne'er-do-well is a polite term. He was a repeat malefactor. I believe last time we met, he'd vandalized a janitorial automech in an attempt to make it spew profanity.
I got 18 months of hard labor for that. Served me right.
As much as I'd prefer not to admit it, you may be right. Whoever hired him must not have known about his addled mind. They were moving quickly, desperately.
I didn't used to be like this. I can still sneak with the best of them. Not being able to remember doesn't make me any worse as an agent. It doesn't.
Any of my fellow arbiters would have killed you before this conversation began. But I can't decide whether to disdain or pity you. I don't know that I can. He is a trespasser. His slipping mind matters not. My duty dictates it. Killing Okada may not affect the one who hired him, but his trespass is an indelible fact. He should not be here. That doesn't mean anything. An arbiter cannot trespass. And even if I could, I still act with the Protectorate's best interests in mind. Not out of some base self-interest. Were the situation different, perhaps I could look the other way. But Okada has clearly defected, and is thus not afforded such a luxury. Very well. Luther Okada, you stand accused of trespassing upon the private domain of the Sovereign, of espionage, of informational theft. For these crimes, I find you guilty of all counts. Prepare for absolution.
If I must die, I will die fighting on my feet.
An end, it would seem. Let us see what remains on the terminal he was so interested in. The hint pertaining to the passcode on that terminal. I believe I know the answer. It is contained in a phrase the Supreme Arbiter drilled into our heads for many years. Our work at the refugee camp did not slake your investigative hunger? I doubt you'll be able to surmise it exactly, but come even close, and I shall be impressed. For myself, the Supreme Arbiter, and Virgil especially, if judgment is the Arbiter's gavel, what is the Arbiter's scalpel? Ah, you've got the spirit exactly, if not the word itself. Very nice. An Arbiter's gavel is judgment, and an Arbiter's scalpel is analysis. Try entering that. From that terminal, it sounds as if the Supreme Arbiter had some sort of business with the Consul. To what end, I wonder? The tone of her response seemed relaxed, but I do not believe she would have met with the Consul unless she had no other choice. And that feckless agent. I don't understand his aim or who he would be working for. Only the Consul. But the Protectorate does not ally itself with Sub Rosa. It absolutely does not. I think you just have alternative luck. Well, at least we found what we needed on the Supreme Arbiter's terminal. I only hope whatever awaits us at Central Control is less tumultuous. I wish I could take more solace in Okada's death. Alas. I hope that's true. More wastrels to slay, more traitors to root out and bring to heel, or eliminate. Altogether, I think visiting this station was fruitful for my ultimate task. Hopefully we'll grow ever closer to discovering the Supreme Arbiter's true killer. And, circumstances aside, I appreciate your accompanying me here, Commander. It means much. Now let us return to the incognito and plan out our next steps.
May whatever we discuss aid in the speak freely. It would appear our next stop is Praetor, specifically Central Control. I look forward to traveling there, once you've sufficiently prepared. Excellent. I look forward to it. I believe what we need is on that terminal. I'll see if I can find my way in. The terminal's locked, which is no surprise. See if you can find some method to bypass its passcode. Did you hear that? I think something may have unlocked. I think this may unlock the terminal, but the toggle mechanism appears compromised. I shall hold it. You attempt to gain access to the machine. Through that terminal. The elevator's been summoned from below.
Consul Thoreau, I'm sure you're surprised to be receiving this message, and thus I can assume you already know my intent. Even considering aligning myself against the Sovereign is like sticking my hand in boiling oil. Yet my dead charges spur me forward. 10 scores of Arcadia's finest, at least 10 scores, died in defense of Golden Ridge. And does the region lie in our control? No. We fled like sprats, all at Varric's behest. I shall lower myself to work with you, Consul. I will help you uphold your plan to... Hold... What in blazes? How long have you been standing there? What did you hear?
I cannot believe what I heard. I cannot. Yes, I'm fine. Because I think I understand what was actually happening. My mentor hated the consul and was deeply devoted to the sovereign. She'd never speak thus, unless she was trying to lure the consul into a trap.
Error. Arbiter's logic is circuitous and flawed. Mental health assessment recommended.
What I'm proposing is eminently plausible. It may be beyond you to see her machinations, but it's obvious to me that this was merely an intricate play. It's all that makes sense. It's not obvious to me. You didn't know her. Wait, do you hear that?
Arbiter Rao, I finally got you. Submit quietly to the Protectorate's justice for your manifold transgressions.
Are you insane? Who are you? And on whose authority do you claim to judge me?
My name is Junior Arbiter Mayhall, and I operate on Arbiter Mandate, as you did once. Now, no questions. This is already going to be difficult enough.
It's logical. The Sentinels have all but taken over central control. It stands to reason the few Arbiters still trained here would only be Sentinels in armored regalia.
I cannot deny that central control has changed, but... what am I saying? I need not defend myself from the likes of you.
Enough! This has been an unpleasant day and my patience is gone. Your accusations are baseless, and accosting a higher-ranked Arbiter is grounds for arbitration.
They're far from baseless. You stand accused of abandoning your post, of infiltrating Protectorate facilities with opaque aims, and of hampering the Protectorate war effort. How dare you! I may be a junior arbiter, but I'm not going to let someone that is a high-ranking arbiter get away with desertion. I heard that Arbiter Rao had left his post without leave some time ago, and chose to track him down myself. Following the trail has not been a simple matter, but I did not let that deter me.
Most certainly. The acclimation period for junior arbiters to understand the extent of their powers is inherently awkward. I imagine this war has made it more so.
We junior arbiters are as capable as always, if not more so. All the war has made clear is that we must take more initiative if Arcadia is to remain unscathed. There's no discussion to be had with criminals. I needed to see firsthand that Arbiter Rao had abandoned his station. He has, and must meet my judgment.
These accusations of yours are slander. If you believe false bravado shall save you from my wrath, you're sorely mistaken. You'd ask me that after witnessing my prior arbitrations? My resolve did not flag at Oculus collating post or the Vox relay, nor shall it here. I see very little reason to entertain sparing this upstart. Who decreed that she is to arrest me? Most likely the consul, or one of his minions. Her actions are twice as villainous as the tripe she claims to accuse me of. There is only one path ahead, and it is stained with her blood. Stinging words. Fine. I'll admit that there is the most minuscule element of doubt that this junior arbiter is in the consul's employ. But her words remain slanderous. Hardly. She could not remind me of myself, for were I in her place, I would know better than to accost my superiors. I have been taught to uphold justice by any means necessary. The junior arbiter is wrongfully accusing me. which stands in the way of my upholding justice. Her accusations are grave enough to be answered with violence. But I understand why she is making them. And her perspective, though skewed, should not merit death. I don't like thinking thus. It toes the line of traitorism. But the alternative is the judgment of one I believe to be innocent. Such an action cannot transpire.
What is this insanity? I would never imagine an Arbiter balking from their chosen course. I had hoped Arbiter Rao would come to his senses, but obviously to no avail. I may not wish to judge him. I may not understand what has come over him. It is of no consequence. His crimes against the Protectorate are all that matters. What Junior Arbiter isn't? He was one of the Supreme Arbiter's protégés. It was he who brought the traitorous Senior Warden of Pharaoh's Bastion to justice. It was the first I'd ever heard of evidence collection. When I heard that story, I knew, or thought, that Arbiter Rao had a true belief in justice. And that appeared logical. After all, he's meant to represent a shining example of what we all hope to become. All I know is that I'll have a great many framed images I'll need to get rid of after this.
We've decided to finally retire that farcical back and forth. Thank the architect. Junior Arbiter Mayhall, I accuse you of slandering a Senior Arbiter and threatening violence against his person. I find you guilty on all counts. Prepare for absolution.
What? You went through the trouble to stay my hand, yet you still seek to judge me? Then you shall meet my judgment after all.
Standing by.
None shall stand against us! Taking punitive action! I suppose that's that. I had hoped that altercation could be solved without bloodshed. Killing a fellow Arbiter brings me no joy.
This unit observed a notable delay of 0.45 seconds in Arbiter Rao's response time, registering likely emotional distress. Are you distressed, Arbiter Rao?
This was an unusual situation. Yes, you're right. And she was wholly out of line. I can't allow circumstances to affect my will. All this excitement did not make me forget the confession on the Supreme Arbiter's terminal. I have to bring it to Virgil. Together, we can discover exactly what transpired. There's nothing to take. As I said, the Supreme Arbiter was working to trap the Consul in some way. Virgil will agree. I'm not sure of his whereabouts since last we encountered him. I'll send him a message. With luck, we'll hear from him before long.
What nature he assembled and vastly rebettered through artificial means. Enjoy an artificially enhanced sweet dream. Finally, an edible with Auntie's chop.
The story of Auntie Cleo versus the Moon Man is a ballad for our ages. A thing of legend, to be handed down for a modest fee to each successive generation. Spacer's choice swollen-headed mascot represents the worst impulses of old corporations, who unfairly stacked the deck against the little person, as they tried with us at Tau Ceti. But did Auntie Cleo take Spacer's choice devious shenanigans lying down? No! Just like our sponsored tossball team, the Auntie Cleo's darlings refused to do when things were down at the end of the sponsorship series against the Spacers Chosen.
I'm Jean Turfer-Tyler, 6th base person for the Anti-Cleo's Darlings. I cleaned Spacers Chosen's goalie at the end of the 56th inning, then made a Sunday goal to win the game. Whenever I see that Moon Man's pretty face, I'm gonna clean it away. Darlings! We won! Hostile takeover this! Right back at you!
I'm Auntie Cleo, and I endorse this message. Attention, valued employees. Auntie here to brighten your workday with a report.
If you're here for Melquiades Alcantara, afraid you're a mite bit late. Investigator Yoshida, Department of Excessive Corporate Malfeasance. Did you know the deceased? Seems like you're not the only one. Were you aware if you had any business rivals, any disgruntled employees? Deals gone sour? Oh, so you were just stopping by to ask about his secret innovation, the one that likely got him killed. No, it would make my day if you were to blame. I only cover internal rivalries. As an outsider, you'd be someone else's department to worry about. You're clear to saunter freely. Well, maybe someone over at the bottom runger knows something. Don't forget, Auntie's Choice Zero G whiskey gets you into orbit.
Can't tell the difference between cover and concealment? Then you need a good set of armor before someone succeeds in ventilating you. I know. Folks been shooting at your face a bunch, ain't they? Well, don't worry. I've got just the plating to let you... I've got armor and...
Welcome! Here at Arnie's Armory, you name it.